guys, it's Kaylee. Welcome back to Gluten-Free Runner. Today I made Valentine's Day donuts, just like the Krispy Kreme ones. My family recently got some Krispy Kreme Valentine's donuts and I really wanted some, and so I made some. These are so good. They turned out so good and they were super easy, and I really hope you guys enjoy them as much as we did. Here are the ingredients. Make sure to take a screenshot here so that you can follow along too. Again, I am using Bob's Red Mill Gluten-Free 1-to-1 baking flour because this has the best results for me. Make sure to use a proper 1-to-1 baking flour. Again, I'm also using Rapid Rise instant yeast. Make sure to use instant yeast because it doesn't need to be activated. Instant yeast is very important because you don't need to activate it with warm water or anything. We're going to start by melting half a cup of butter. So that's 1 full stick of butter. Melt it all the way in the microwave. All dough ingredients into your stand mixer. So all 4 cups of flour and the sugar and the butter and the milk and the egg and the yeast and all of that into your stand mixer fitted with a dough attachment. Now I want to keep this recipe accessible for anyone, so you can use a stand mixer or you can mix it by hand, knead it by hand. In the stand mixer, I mixed it on medium-low for about 5 minutes, but if you're going to knead it by hand, be prepared to get a good arm workout in, folks. And just knead it until it forms a sticky, slightly sticky dough that all comes together in a ball. Alright, so it's the morning and I'm going to get my dough out of the fridge. This is about 12 hours later. Now I'm just going to set it on the counter and let it rise, kind of proof at room temperature for about 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, so this is after 30 to 45 minutes and you can see the dough is a little hard. So I'm going to be honest with you. What I did is I put it in the microwave for about a minute and it turned the perfect doughy consistency that you can see here. So you can either leave it on the counter until it gets to this consistency, or if you don't have a lot of time or if you're impatient and just want donuts now, put it in the microwave for about a minute and you should be all good. Now, once it's this consistency, you're going to knead it and then roll it out flat. This took like all my body strength, guys. Roll it out so it's about a 1/2 inch thick. And then I used heart cookie cutters. These are super cute to make the heart-shaped donuts. I just used this really big one, and I cut some out to be kind of like the just donuts that don't have a hole in the middle. And then I used a small heart donut to cut a heart hole in the middle of my donut, if that makes sense. So use heart-shaped cookie cutters of all sizes, cut them out, make them pretty. The dough is actually really easy to cut, and it doesn't fall apart easily. It holds its shape really well, so you shouldn't have any problems there. And then if you have extra dough left over at the end of all your cutting, you can use that to make donut holes. That's what I did. Pot of oil. This is like probably 4 or 5 cups of oil, and you want to get it to at least 375 degrees. Be very careful with hot oil. Now, once it hits the 375 temp, carefully plop in those donuts and let them boil for about 1 minute on each side. I did 2 or 3 at a time depending on the size of the donuts, and you're going to flip them over carefully. I used this interesting little spoon that I found to flip them over. Make sure you have a cooling rack and a cookie sheet off to the side so that you are ready to put them on that to let the excess oil drip off once they're done. Make sure to boil all your donuts and then let them cool fully, and then that, but make sure that you don't burn them. And then look what I did for these little donut holes. So I used the insides of the heart donuts that I cut out to make little heart-shaped donut holes. Immediately after taking them out of the oil, I put them in a bowl of granulated sugar and rolled them all around. That way the granulated sugar would stick to them. Don't worry, they aren't very hot, so you can do this safely. Here they are. They turned out so cute. Now let's get on to making the frosting and the fun part, decorating. Here are all the frosting ingredients. Take a screenshot here so that you can make the frosting too. I also had some strawberry jam off to the side that we're going to use for a filling. This is the easiest frosting ever. All you're going to do is pour in all the ingredients into a bowl, and then don't use all the milk. Use only as much as you need for the desired consistency of the frosting that you want. If you want it to be a thicker frosting, use less milk, and if you want a thinner frosting, more like a glaze, add more milk. For this frosting, I made 3 batches, 1 white, 1 red, and 1 pink. But you can do whatever colors you want. You can even make a chocolate frosting by adding in a little bit of cocoa powder if you want to. Have fun with it, and try to plan out your designs before you start making the donuts. That way you kind of know what you're going for. For my donuts, I was going for a Krispy Kreme looking, maybe Dunkin' looking donut. So I just Googled Krispy Kreme Valentine's donuts before I started decorating, and so that I had an idea of what I wanted to make. The filling part is optional, and if you like filled donuts, then I recommend doing it. I just used the Smucker's strawberry jam to make the filling, but that's totally optional, so you can skip that bit if you want. There are all 3 of my colors that I made, and here are the donuts. Now it's time to start decorating. So for the first one, I just took a donut and I dipped it in the pink. Again, if you want a more easy, seamless frosting application, I would definitely recommend a thinner frosting. My white and pink frostings were pretty thin, but I still had to use a butter knife to spread the frosting around a little bit, but that's okay. My red frosting turned out really, really thick, so I had to use a butter knife, but it was better for the more, the designs that I wanted to control a little bit more. I had a variety of Valentine's Day sprinkles, so I just had some fun sprinkling them around, and I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of my decorations. Whatever jam you want, and stick it into the donut and just fill it to make little jam-filled donuts. I did some donuts like that, but then I just left the rest. They turned out so cute, and you never even know that these are gluten-free. They're so fluffy and so crisp on the outside, yet fluffy on the inside, just like a traditional donut from an actual donut shop like Dunkin' or Krispy Kreme. So, so good and celiac safe. This is a great way to show your loved ones some love this Valentine's Day, especially with how hard it can be to be gluten-free around holidays like this. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you did, like and subscribe for more gluten-free goodness. Should I make a Boston cream next?